Alright guys, so I am here with Miss Shyla and Dreamer, and we're just going to share a couple of afternoon thoughts with you guys. So in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, we are introduced to a man named Jacob. Now Jacob, while he was far from home, came to work as a shepherd for this man. And as he was working, he fell in love with the daughter of the man he worked for and agreed to work 7 full years to earn her hand in marriage, which 7 years is a long time. But after the end of 7 years, his work was finished and then could marry Rachel. Now, what Jacob didn't know at that moment was he was actually marrying Leah, Rachel's older sister. And when he found out this, he was furious because now he was married to Leah instead of Rachel. So he arranged with the guy he was working for to be able to marry Rachel if he worked an additional 7 years. Now that's 14 years of working for this one person. Now Jacob, after the 14 years, was able to marry Rachel, but it took him 14 years of hard, back-breaking work as a shepherd to be able to get the thing that he desired. Now, in life, just like in this story, sometimes we have to work longer and harder than we anticipated for the things that we desire. And we don't always understand when we get into something how long it's truly going to take. But Jacob in that story was so dedicated that he didn't care that he had to work way longer, twice as long, twice as hard to get Rachel because he loved her so much. Now, a lot of people, when they get horses, they don't realize the dedication that they require. Oh, there Shyla goes. She's gonna go for a roll. The dedication that horses require to keep up, their riding, their training, to keep up the relationship between you and them. Now, before you get a horse, you have to consider that they are very needy creatures. They need relationship, they need exercise, they need to be fed. All that stuff requires a lot of time, work, and energy, and very little time is actually spent riding your horse. And you can't just buy a horse, take them out once a week on Saturday and expect to have a picture perfect Instagram ready horse when you didn't spend any time with them that whole week. Now there are some horses that are kind of require less energy, less consistency. Just like in the last video, I was talking about how each person and each horse is unique. Some horses require a lot more time and money and dedication, and other horses take a little bit less, but they are still a huge commitment. It's just like a child. They take a lot. And we kind of get this idea that we don't have to work very hard and we can just do something for a little while but still have that Instagram perfect picture of a life, but that's not how it works. It takes hard work, dedication, and commitment to be able to achieve those things. You can't put in 2 hours a week on Saturday and expect your horse to have a relationship with you. That's just not how it works. And that applies to several aspects in life. You know, you can't just have, you know, a relationship with a person when you don't talk to them or text them or anything and then expect, you know, to be best buds. In a marriage, you can't expect to give a bunch of money to your spouse and not spend any time with them and then expect it to work. You have to be committed. You have to have the dedication and be able to commit time to that other person. In, you know, the workplace, you have to be consistent. There's so many people, young people specifically, who are, you know, working their first or second job, and they only work there for, you know, a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month, and then they realize that it's kind of hard and that they'd rather sit on the couch and do nothing all day. And it's really sad because we don't understand the value of hard work. We don't understand the value of any kind of commitment these days. But when you stick to things, when you commit to things, God will honor that and bring his blessing upon you. But you can't just give things half-heartedly and expect God to bless that. So I would really encourage you guys, whatever you're doing in your life, work at it with all your heart as if you are serving God and not for human. You know, it took me a very, very long time to get horses. It took years and years worth of dedication, commitment, lots of hard work, lots of volunteering, even to get the job I'm in now. It spent years of just, you know, volunteering once a week, doing what I could, learning everything I could before I was able to get a job, to be able to get horses. And, you know, I don't regret any of it. I don't regret spending extra time learning and growing before I took a position of authority, before I took the responsibility of being able to own a horse on my own. So be committed to whatever God has put in your hands. Be committed to the church of God. Be committed to the family of God. Be committed to the work of God, and be committed to the word of God. God honors commitment. He honors dedication. And not just in horses, but in your family life, in your school, in the workplace. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your heart for as long as God has given it to you. And don't give up. Don't quit when things get hard. Be dedicated. Be committed. And I really would want to encourage you to keep pushing in, keep pressing in. I know it's hard. I know it seems like it's taken twice as long to go half as far. But yeah, Dreamer's getting tired of me talking. But God honors that commitment. God sees your desire. He sees the dedication and commitment that you are pouring into that. And if you honor him with what you're doing, whatever it is, then he will bless it. So I would work at things, be committed, be dedicated, and God will remember that. So I hope you enjoyed that. I will see y'all in the next video. Have an amazing day.